So much of our prosperity in Arizona and around the country is because of the affordable energy that we have, and there's a lot of new, cool, clean things happening in energy. There's a big debate in our state around solar versus other things. We're talking a lot about natural gas around the country. Fracking's going on in other states, which is just transforming their prosperity and what's happening. So I think this is a big issue, and I think we need some discussion around it. It's much like, if you'll allow me to transition like this, I think the education issue. Some of our elected leaders always want to talk about charter versus traditional K-12 or private versus public. I think it's all of our kids. I mean, we really have the freedom to send our kids where we want to go to school. I want to give more choices. Some people are going to choose different places, including to educate their kids at home. So each one of these kids is going to grow up to be an adult and come out into the real world. So we want each one of these kids to be educated. I do not have a favorite source of energy. I think, natural gas, coal in many forms, solar, it's all of the above. And there's so many cool things happening in battery technology as well. Now, is there a way that saving standards can help with this, can put more money in our citizens' pockets and have a cleaner environment? I imagine that there is. But I think it's about bringing the interested parties around the table, understanding the issues and what the priorities of the state are. I want you to know my priorities will be around a more limited government. They'll be around a thriving and prosperous free enterprise system and policies of personal responsibility. Energy's part of that because it's the fuel that allows us to do things like this and light the room and build the infrastructure to get the goods across the state. But I think too often we get these bureaucrats in government that are writing edicts or mandates that hurt the private sector and hurt the citizen. So whenever I see standards or regulations that are coming from the folks in government, it causes me concern. I'm running on my real world experience in the private sector and proof of my competence and willingness to stand up against what's wrong in the public sector. But I want to review all of the regulations. I want a moratorium on any new regulation, but I just think there's too much on the books already, and much of it not enforced. So I want to look at these saving standards and say, what do we need, what's important, but I want to bring, business people and citizens around the table in addition to the Corporation Commission.